His Word Volume 1, Things You Should Know, Questions and Answers, by Rumi Michael Lee. Introduction. Welcome and thank you for listening to this book, His Word Volume 1. This book helps you test and revise your Bible knowledge of the Old Testament. Stay blessed and enjoy the read. In the beginning. 1. What did God create on the first day? God created the heavens and the earth. 2. What did God create on the second day? God created the sky. 3. What did God create on the third day? God created dry land. 4. What did God create on the fourth day? God created the heavenly bodies and the stars. 5. What did God create on the fifth day? God created the creatures that live in water, birds, insects, etc. 6. What did God create on the sixth day? God created all the creatures that live on land, and then He created man of His own image, male and female. 7. Why did God sanctify the seventh day? God sanctified the seventh day because He rested from all His work. 8. Who was the first man created? Adam. 9. What did God use to make man? The dust of the ground. 10. Why did God create Eve? God created Eve because man was alone and he needed a helper. 11. Who named Eve? Adam. 12. Why did Adam name her Eve? Adam named her Eve because she was the mother of all living. 13. What is the meaning of Eve? Eve means mother of all living. 14. Who named the animals? Adam. Garden of Eden. 1. What are the four rivers that originate from Eden? Pison, Gihon, Hiddekel, and Euphrates. 2. What animal deceived Eve? A serpent. 3. What did the animal represent? The animal represented Lucifer. 4. How did this animal convince Eve to eat from the tree God told them not to? The serpent told Eve that even though God told them, Adam and Eve, that if they ate from the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, and that they would die, but the truth was that they would not die, but that their eyes would be opened and they would be as gods, knowing good and evil. 5. Why did Adam hide himself when God called him? Since Adam had tasted the forbidden fruit, he realized that he was naked, and he was ashamed. 6. What was Adam's punishment? He would toil the ground for food. 7. What was Eve's punishment? She would have pain during childbirth. 8. What was God's curse to the serpent? The serpent was cursed above all livestock, and it will always crawl with its belly and eat dust forever. 9. How did God guard the tree of life? God placed a cherubim and a flaming sword flashing back and forth. 10. What did God do before sending Adam and Eve out of the Garden of Eden? God prepared and clothed them. Cain and Abel. 1. Who is older, Cain or Abel? Cain. 2. What was Cain's job? Cain was a farmer. 3. What was Abel's job? Abel was a shepherd. 4. Who committed the first murder in the Bible? Cain. 5. Why was God pleased with Abel's sacrifice? God was pleased with Abel's sacrifice because Abel offered the best of his flock to God for sacrifice. 6. Why was God displeased with Cain's sacrifice? God was displeased with Cain's sacrifice because Cain did not offer his best fruit to God for sacrifice. 7. Why did Cain kill Abel? Cain killed Abel because he was jealous, bitter and angry that God was pleased with Abel's sacrifice and not his own. 8. What was God's curse to Cain? God's curse was that Cain shall toil the ground but his toil shall bear no fruit, and that he shall become a vagabond. 9. How did God protect Cain from being killed by anyone who found him? God set a mark on him, and said that anyone who killed Cain will have vengeance taken on him sevenfold. 10. Who is Enoch? Enoch is Cain's son, and the name of the city Cain lived. The city was named by Cain after his first son. Noah. 1. Who is the father of Noah? Lamech. 2. Why did God want to destroy all mankind? This was because men were evil and wicked. 3. What are the names of Noah's children? Shem, Ham, and Japheth. 4. Who was in the ark? Noah and his wife, his sons and their wives. 5. How many days did it rain upon the earth when Noah and his family were in the ark? 40 days and 40 nights. 6. What animal did Noah release from the ark to verify if the earth was yet dry or still covered with water? A raven. 7. How many times did the raven return to Noah? The raven returned to Noah twice. 8. What mountain did the ark rest after the flood? The ark rested on Mount Ararat. 9. What was God's promise to Noah? God's promise to Noah was never to destroy mankind again. 10. What was the symbol of God's promise to Noah? A rainbow. Abraham 1. 1. How old was Abram when he left Haran? Abram was 75 years old. 2. What is the name of Abram's wife? Sarai. 3. Who is Lot to Abram? Lot is Abram's nephew. 4. Why did Abram say that his wife was his sister when they arrived in Egypt? Abram said that Sarai, his wife, was his sister because she was beautiful, and if the Egyptians knew that she was his wife, he was afraid that they would kill him to possess her. 5. Why did the Lord plague the house of Pharaoh after Sarai was taken into his household? The Lord plagued the house of Pharaoh because Sarai was Abram's wife and not his sister. 6. What is the name of Sarai's handmaid? Hagar. 7. What is the name of Hagar's first son? Ishmael. 8. Abram's name was changed to Abraham. 9. Sarai's name was changed to Sarah. 10. What did the Lord instruct Lot and his family not to do during the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah? The Lord instructed them not to look back. Abraham 2. 1. What happened to Lot's wife during the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah? Lot's wife looked back, although the Lord instructed them not to, and she became a pillar of salt. 2. What is the name of Lot's first daughter's son? Moab. 3. What is the name of Lot's youngest daughter's son? Ben-Ami. 4. Why did Abram and his family go to Egypt? Abram and his family went to Egypt to escape famine. 5. What is the name of Abraham's father? Terah. 6. Why did Abram and Lot have to separate? Abram and Lot had to separate because there was dispute among their people due to lack of space. 7. How did Sarah react when she was told that she would have a child? Sarah laughed in disbelief. 8. And why was Sarah's reaction this way? Sarah felt that she was too old to give birth. 9. How old was Abraham when he had Isaac? He was 100 years old. 10. How old was Sarah when Isaac was born? She was 90 years old. 11. When was Isaac circumcised? Isaac was circumcised when he was 8 days old. 12. What is the name of Sarah's and Abraham's first son? Isaac. 13. What city did the Lord reveal to Abraham that he was going to destroy? Sodom and Gomorrah. 14. When Abraham tried to dissuade God from destroying Sodom and Gomorrah, what was the only condition that God would spare Sodom and Gomorrah? The only way was if they were 10 righteous people living there. 15. How did God really test Abraham's faith? God asked Abraham to sacrifice his son Isaac. 16. What was the sign of covenant between Abraham and the Lord? Circumcision. 17. How old was Sarah when she died? Sarah was 127 years old. 18. How old was Abraham when he died? Abraham was 175 years old. Isaac and family. 1. What was the sign to Abraham's servant of the wife-to-be of Isaac? The woman will give Isaac water to drink, and also his camels. 2. Which people did Abraham forbade his son Isaac to marry? Abraham forbade his son Isaac to marry a Canaanite. 3. How old was Isaac when he married Rebekah? Isaac was 40 years old. 4. Who did Isaac lie to that his wife Rebekah was his sister? Isaac lied to Abimelech. 5. What are the names of the twins of Isaac and Rebekah? Esau and Jacob. 6. Which of the twin is older? Esau. 7. What is the color of the hair of Esau? Red. 8. What was Esau's job? He was a man of the woods and a hunter. 9. What was Jacob's job? Jacob dwelled in the tent and cared for his father's flocks. 10. Which of the children did Isaac love? Isaac loved Esau. 11. Which of the children did Rebekah love? Rebekah loved Jacob. 12. Which of the twins sold his birthright? Esau sold his birthright to Jacob. 13. Why did Esau hate his brother Jacob? Esau hated Jacob because Jacob tricked their father, Isaac, to bless him, Jacob. 14. Who are Laban's 2 daughters? Leah and Rachel. 15. How many years did Jacob initially work for the hands of Rachel? 7 years. 16. How did Laban trick Jacob? After the first 7 years, he gave Leah to Jacob instead of Rachel. 17. Why did Laban trick Jacob? Laban said he did this because in the country, he couldn't give his younger daughter in marriage before the firstborn. 18. What solution did Laban propose to Jacob? Laban asked Jacob to serve him for another 7 years before he gives him his second daughter, Rachel, for marriage. 19. Why was Rachel barren? Rachel was barren because the Lord saw that Leah was hated, so he opened her womb but not Rachel's. 20. Why was Rachel envious of Leah? Rachel was envious of Leah because she was barren, but Leah had children. 21. What are the names of Leah's first 3 sons? Reuben, Simeon, and Judah. 22. What is the name of Rachel's first son? Isaac. 23. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. 24. Who did Jacob wrestle with till morning? Jacob wrestled with an angel of God. Joseph the interpreter. 1. Who is the mother of Joseph? Rachel. 2. Why did Joseph's brothers hate him? Joseph's brothers hated Joseph because their father loved him the most, and also Joseph brought news to their father of his brother's wrongdoings. 3. What is the significance of Joseph's dreams? Joseph's dreams meant that Joseph will one day reign over them. 4. Which of Joseph's brother prevented him from being killed by the other brothers? Reuben. 5. Which of Joseph's brother proposed to sell Joseph to the Ishmaelites? Judah. 6. How much was Joseph sold to the Ishmaelites? Joseph was sold to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. 7. Where was Joseph taken to after he was sold to the Ishmaelites? Joseph was taken to Egypt. 8. How did Joseph's brothers convince their father that Joseph was dead? Joseph's brothers put goat's blood in Joseph's coat, and they showed it to their father. 9. Who was Joseph sold to in Egypt? Joseph was sold to Potiphar, the captain of the guard of Pharaoh. 10. Why was Joseph put to prison by his master Potiphar? Joseph was put to prison by his master Potiphar because Potiphar's wife tried to seduce Joseph several times, and since Joseph refused to lay with her, she then accused him of trying to lay with her. 11. What was the name given to Joseph by Pharaoh? Zaphanath-Paneah. 12. Who was the wife given to Joseph by Pharaoh? Asenuth, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On. 13. What was the gift offered to Joseph by his father? A coat of many colors. 14. What did Joseph do to his brothers when they first came to Egypt? Joseph puts them in prison. 15. What are the names of Joseph's sons? Manasseh and Ephraim. 16. Who did Joseph accuse his brothers to be when they came to Egypt to look for food and could not recognize him? Joseph called them spies. 17. During the period of famine, what type of food did people specifically come to Joseph to buy in Egypt? Corn. The quest of Moses 1. 1. After the death of Joseph and with the rise of slavery in Egypt, what did the king of Egypt order the Hebrew midwives to do? The king ordered the Hebrew midwives to kill the newborns if they were males but to spare the females. 2. Among these Hebrew midwives give two names: Shiphrah and Puah. 3. So what did these Hebrew midwives do? The Hebrew midwives did not follow the orders of the king of Egypt. 4. Why did Moses flee from Pharaoh? Moses fled from Pharaoh because he killed an Egyptian, and it was made known to Pharaoh who sought to kill him. 5. Where did Moses flee to? Moses fled to the land of Midian. 6. Who is Zipporah? Zipporah is one of the 7 daughters of the priest of Midian, and she became the wife of Moses. 7. What is the name of Moses' first child with Zipporah? A son called Gershom. 8. What is the name of the priest of Midian? Jethro. 9. Who was Moses' spokesman? His brother Aaron the Levite. 10. Why did Pharaoh show so much resistance to let the Israelites leave Egypt? Pharaoh showed so much resistance to let the Israelites leave Egypt because the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart. 11. Name the 10 plagues inflicted to Pharaoh by the Lord in Egypt. First plague, water turned into blood. Second plague, frogs populated the land of Egypt. Third plague, lice throughout the land of Egypt. Fourth plague, swarms of flies in the land of Egypt. Fifth plague, death of livestock, horses, donkeys, cattle, sheep, etc. Sixth plague, boils upon man and beast throughout the land. Seventh plague, thunderstorm of hail and fire. Eighth plague, locusts throughout the land of Egypt. Ninth plague, darkness throughout the land of Egypt for 3 days. 10th plague, the death of the firstborn son in Egypt, including the beasts. The quest of Moses 2. 1. How did Moses fulfill Joseph's prophecy? Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, and the Lord led his people out of the land of Egypt. 2. How did the Lord accompany his people in the wilderness? The Lord did this by a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. 3. Who is Miriam? Miriam is the sister of Aaron and a prophetess. 4. Where did the Israelites not able to drink water, because the water available was bitter? The waters of Marah. 5. What is the name of Moses' second son? Eleazar. 6. Where were the instructions of the 10 Commandments given to Moses? On Mount Sinai. 7. How long was Moses on Mount Sinai? 40 days and 40 nights. 8. Who is the mother of Moses? Jochebed. 9. Who adopted Moses? Pharaoh's daughter. 10. What did the Lord say to Moses before he approached the burning bush? The Lord told him to take off his shoes. 11. According to question 10, why? This was because Moses was standing on holy ground. 12. What made Moses to break the tablets of the 10 Commandments? Anger. Moses was angry because the Israelites were worshipping an idol. 13. What was the cure to the Israelites that were bitten by snakes? The Israelites had to look at the brass serpent. 14. What sea did Moses part that the Israelites passed through? The Red Sea. 15. During the plague, how did the Israelites prevent the death of their firstborn? The Israelites had to paint their doorpost with lamb's blood. 16. Where did Moses die? In the land of Moab. 17. Where was Moses buried? In a valley in the land of Moab, over against Beth Peor, but nobody ever knew of his body. 18. How old was Moses when he died? Moses was 120 years old. 19. How long did the people of Israel that left Egypt spend in the wilderness? 40 years. 20. Why did the people of Israel spend all that time in the wilderness? The people of Israel spent all that time in the wilderness because they disobeyed God, and God swore that they would not enter the promised land. Joshua. 1. Who took over Moses when he died? Joshua. 2. Who is the father of Joshua? None. 3. How many spies did Joshua send to Jericho? 2 men. 4. Where did the spies stay in Jericho? The spies stayed at a harlot's house named Rahab. 5. How did Joshua's army defeat Amalek's army? When Moses' hands were up. 6. The sun and the moon stood still for? Joshua. 7. How old was Joshua when he died? Joshua was 110 years old. Samson. 1. What is the name of Samson's father? Manoah. 2. Samson delivered the Israelites against the hands of the Philistines. 3. What was the secret to Samson's strength? His hair must never be cut. 4. Where did Samson kill the 1,000 Philistines? At Lehi. 5. What weapon did Samson use to kill the 1,000 Philistines? A jawbone of an ass. 6. Who betrayed Samson? Delilah. 7. How long did Samson judge Israel? 20 years. Samuel. 1. What are the names of Samuel's parents? Elkanah and Hannah. 2. What promise did Hannah make to God if he granted her a child? She promised that the child will serve the Lord all his life, and a razor will never touch his head. 3. Who is Peninnah? Peninnah is one of the wives of Elkanah. 4. Who is Eli? Eli is a priest. 5. What are the names of Eli's sons? Hophni and Phinehas. 6. How did Eli die? Eli fell from his seat and broke his neck after he heard that his sons were dead and that the ark of God was taken. 7. How long did Eli judge Israel? Eli judged Israel for 40 years. Saul. 1. Who is the first king of Israel? Saul. 2. Where was Saul made king? Gilgal. 3. Why did God reject Saul as king? God rejected Saul as king because Saul had not kept his commandment. Saul did not wait for Samuel, and he offered a burnt offering to the Lord. 4. What is the name of Saul's son? Jonathan. 5. How did Saul die? Saul fell on his own sword. David. 1. Who is the father of David? Jesse. 2. What was David's job? David was a shepherd and a musician. 3. Who became the second king of Israel? David. 4. Who became King Saul's armor-bearer? David. 5. How did Saul feel when the evil spirit from the Lord was upon him, and David played the harp? The evil spirit departed from Saul. 6. Who killed Goliath? David. 7. Who pleaded with David to spare the life of her husband? Abigail, the wife of Nabal. 8. Who is Nabal? Nabal is a rich and wicked man in Maon from the house of Caleb. 9. What is the name of Jonathan's son that was lame of his feet? Mephibosheth. 10. Who is the prophet that assists King David? Nathan. 11. Who is the woman that King David saw bathing? Bathsheba, the wife of Uriah the Hittite. 12. Why did King David get Uriah killed? King David got Uriah killed because Bathsheba was pregnant for David, and David was afraid that Uriah will know. 13. How did the Lord punish King David for putting Uriah to death? The Lord put trouble in the house of David, and also took the life of Bathsheba's child. 14. Who revealed to David God's anger towards him? The prophet Nathan. 15. What is the name of Bathsheba and King David's second child? Solomon. 16. Who is Abishag? Abishag is a Shunammite, a young virgin that took care of David when he was old and stricken. David knew her not. 17. How did David slay Goliath? David slayed Goliath with a stone and a sling. 18. Did David build a temple for the Lord? No, his son Solomon built a temple for the Lord in Jerusalem. 19. Which of David's sons tried to take his throne? Absalom. Solomon. 1. What did Solomon ask God in a dream when God asked him what he wanted? Solomon asked for wisdom. 2. What was God's answer to Solomon? God said that since Solomon did not ask for riches and honor, he would give him what he asked for, wisdom, and also what he did not ask for, riches and honor, so no king would ever be as prosperous as Solomon. 3. How many wives did King Solomon have? 300 wives. 4. How many concubines did King Solomon have? 700 concubines. 5. How did Solomon sin against God? Solomon loved strange women, he burnt incense and made sacrifices to their gods. 6. What was God's punishment to King Solomon? God said that he would take the kingdom away from Solomon and give it to his servant. 7. Did the Lord take away the kingdom directly from Solomon? No, because of the Lord's love for David, the kingdom was taken away from the son of Solomon, but not all the kingdom. The children of Judah. 1. Name the 4 children chosen from Judah. Daniel, Ananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. 2. Why were these children chosen? These children were chosen to learn and serve before the king of Babylon. 3. What name was given to Daniel? Belshazzar. 4. What name was given to Ananiah? Shadrach. 5. What name was given to Mishael? Meshach. 6. What name was given to Azariah? Abednego. 7. Who is Nebuchadnezzar? Nebuchadnezzar is the king of Babylon. 8. Why did Daniel and his colleagues refuse to eat the king's meat or drink his wine? Daniel and his colleagues refused to eat the king's meat or drink his wine in order not to defile themselves. 9. What was God's gift to Daniel? Daniel had a good understanding of visions and dreams. 10. Why was Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego thrown into the fiery furnace? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were thrown into the fiery furnace because they refused to bow down and worship the golden image. 11. What happened to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace? They were rescued by an angel of the Lord. Then the king asked them to come out of the fire, and he forbade anyone to speak against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and he promoted them in the province of Babylon. 12. Who is Belshazzar? King Belshazzar is the son of King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon. 13. Why was Daniel cast into the lion's den? Daniel was cast into the lion's den because he was caught praying to the Lord during a decree period of 30 days in which no man should pray or ask petition to other gods. 14. What happened to Daniel in the lion's den? The Lord did not let the lions harm Daniel. Daniel was released by the king, and the men who accused Daniel were thrown along with their families into the lion's den, and they were devoured. Jonah. 1. What was Jonah's mission? Jonah's mission was to go to Nineveh and warn its people to change their ways. If not, the Lord said that they will be overthrown. 2. What was Jonah's reaction? Jonah tried to flee to Tarshish away from the presence of the Lord. 3. What happened during Jonah's journey to Tarshish? The Lord caused a mighty tempest in the sea, and Jonah asked the men to cast him out of the ship in order to save everyone in the ship, because he was running away from the Almighty. So they reluctantly cast Jonah out of the ship to the sea, and the sea became calm. 4. What happened to Jonah when he was cast into the sea? The Lord sent a big fish to swallow Jonah. 5. How long did Jonah stay in the belly of the fish? Jonah stayed in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights. 6. How many days was left before Nineveh was to be overthrown if the people didn't change their ways? 40 days. 7. What happened when the people of Nineveh heard Jonah's warning? The people of Nineveh repented of their sinful ways, and God's anger turned away from them. 8. Why was Jonah angry? Jonah was angry because he didn't think that they deserved God's mercy. Bonus 1. 1. What was the name of Eve's third child? Seth. 2. How long did Enoch live before he was taken by God? 365 years. 3. Who was the oldest man in the Bible? Methuselah. 4. How old was the oldest man in the Bible? 969 years. 5. Who is Deborah? Deborah is a prophetess and the wife of Lapidoth. 6. How many men did Gideon use to defeat the Midianites? 300 men. 7. Who is Ruth's sister-in-law? Orpah. 8. Who is Gomer? Hosea's wife. 9. Who married the king of Persia? Esther. 10. What is the name of Ruth's mother? Naomi. 11. Who is Job? Job is a rich man loved by God and tested by God through afflictions from Satan to prove his loyalty to his Lord. Job lost everything, his money, his children, his health, but yet remained faithful to God. He put Satan to shame by staying loyal to God, and God rewarded him even more than he, Job, had before: wealth, children, and glory. 12. Where did Job live? In the land of Uz. 13. How many children did Job have? Job had 7 sons and 3 daughters. Bonus 2. 1. Who is Balaam? Balaam is a wicked prophet that was sent by Balak to curse the Israelites. 2. Did Balaam curse the Israelites? No, Balaam wasn't able to curse the Israelites because God did not permit him to do so. Instead, he blessed the Israelites 3 times. 3. Why did Balaam beat his donkey? Balaam beat his donkey because it did not move along, and he thought that the donkey was mocking him. 4. Why did Balaam's donkey refuse to move along? Balaam's donkey refused to move along because of the presence of an angel holding a sword that Balaam could not see at that moment. 5. Who is Balak? Balak is the king of Moab. 6. Who hid the prophets for fear of them being killed by Jezebel? Obadiah. 7. Who is Jezebel? Jezebel is a wicked queen and the wife of Ahab. 8. Who is Elijah? Elijah is a prophet of God. 9. What is the name of the mountain where the 450 prophets of Baal were humiliated and vanquished by Elijah? Mount Carmel. 10. Who is Elisha? Elisha was an apprentice to Elijah. 11. What did Elisha ask Elijah before Elijah was taken away? Elisha asked for a double portion of Elijah's spirit upon him. 12. What was Elijah's response? Elijah said that if Elisha sees him when he is taken from him, then what he asked for shall be given unto him, if not, it shall not be so. 13. Did Elisha see Elijah when he was taken from him? Yes, Elisha saw the chariot of fire and horses of fire that took Elijah. Conclusion. Thank you once again for listening to this book. I hope you had a good time.